The St. Louis County Council is cutting the county police department's budget by nearly $5 million, one of many cuts designed to keep the county from dipping into its savings.
But the county police chief thinks this jeopardizes what you want. News 4's Russell Kinsall is at county headquarters in Clayton to explain. Russell.
Well, there was bipartisan support for the budget cuts despite the vocal opposition from Police Chief John Belmer. Now, the County Council says that the police department will have the money to hire more officers next year thanks to Prop B funds, but they say they had to cut the budget to avoid a looming budget crisis for county government.
But it's not right to have the police department caught in the middle of it.
The county police department appears caught in the squeeze between a long trend of budgets that outspend revenue and the council's attempts to rein in spending, starting with budget cuts last year.
And if we can do that every year, we can avoid a major catastrophe that's on the horizon for St. Louis County.
Councilman Mark Harder says for the last decade, the council rubber-stamped budgets that had to dip into reserves to be balanced.
And our budget director has been telling us that in 2020, we are at a point where we have no more extra money to balance this budget. We've been living on our savings account.
The council is cutting a total of $35 million from the proposed budget for next year, but Harder says all departments will get at least the same as they got this year. Police say the cuts are effectively a hiring freeze, but there are no cuts to Prop P funds.
None of the residents need to worry that if there is a huge decrease in officers, then we need more, that the chief can come back to the council, propose a change in his budget.
But Chief Belmer says the cuts jeopardize some of the changes that Prop P promised, like two-person crews. Belmer says going back to ask for more money in the middle of the year is not a good idea.
That's certainly not a good way to run a business, and it's not a very good way to run a police department. So there's certain things that you can ask for supplemental appropriations. I don't believe hiring is one of those things.
Now, Councilman Harder said the police department will have enough money to hire 50 more officers next year. The chief wanted the funds and the flexibility to hire as many as 70 or more. A short time ago, behind these closed doors, the county council took the final vote on next year's budget. All of the budget cuts were approved. The budget was finalized, and that was their last meeting for the year. Live in Clayton, Russell Kinsall, News 4.